Before we start, I made a little P.O. Box video, it's on the channel. Click in the upper right corner or in the description so you can check it out. In the world of the Mushroom Kingdom, there are plenty of evil villains with crazy plans to take over the world. All scheming and working hard to make their evil plans reality and gain as much power as possible to remain on the top. But when it comes down to it, there are two that are the clear winners compared to everyone else seen in the series. King Boo, the Ghost Lord with amazing powers, and Bowser, the Koopa King, who is extremely strong. However, if these two ended up fighting each other instead of those little Italians, then who would be the winner? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. In one corner, we have the Spectral Lord himself, King Boo, leader of all the Boos and Ghosts, boss of the paranormal dimension, main antagonist of the Luigi's Mansion series, and even the arch-enemy of Luigi, aka the less important brother.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
This royal ghost has abilities that far surpass every other Boo, and he wields a number of impressive magical abilities. And the more Boos that are close to him, the stronger he becomes. And in the other corner, we have the turtle demon Bowser, the ruler of the Koopa Troop and conqueror of nations. He's a large, powerful, fire-breathing Koopa with extreme strength who only has one mission: kidnapping Princess Peach and taking over the Mushroom Kingdom. Using his army and magical powers, he has tried to win time and time again, even returning from the dead to finish the job. But now he and King Boo have different missions, defeating each other in a one-on-one duel, and in order to find out who the winner would be, we will look at the following points: powers and abilities, stamina and health, tactics, and also intelligence. All these elements are important for a battle between leaders who both possess insane power and even reality-bending magic. Let's start off with our first point, their powers and abilities. We will start off with King Boo, who has a lot of different ones. He has similar abilities to Boo's, however he has even more than your average ghost, like teleportation, creating strong winds, creating things like lifelike replicas of enemies, buildings, and even entire dimensions. To be honest, his powers seem quite endless. I haven't even mentioned half of them. There are so many, it's absolutely bonkers. But all of them seem to be magical, creating things out of thin air, shooting fireballs, spawning enemies, illusions, growing in size, and way more. But none of it is really physical, but all magical. So while he is an absolute master at defeating his enemies using tricks and advanced magic, he doesn't usually harm them by hitting them, for example. So while he excels when it comes to magic, his own body is weak, as you could imagine with a ghost. So therefore, he completely relies on changing reality, summoning and shooting all kinds of stuff, and more. Now, Bowser does things a bit differently. He uses his brute strength more by ground pounding, swiping at you with his claws, or even straight up punching you. We have seen this in a ton of games like Super Mario Bros. 3 and even in the most recent title, Super Mario Odyssey. His agility, durability, speed, and strength are all superhuman, and he has proven this time and time again. But that's not all. There are two other things that he tends to use in battle, at least against those well-known Italian brothers. One of those is all his machines, like the Koopa Clown Car, which is seen a ton, the Mecha Koopas that he tends to throw around, a cap with boxing gloves, and more. These inventions give him extra abilities that he normally doesn't have at all, which makes him quite versatile. And the other thing that he tends to use a lot is dark magic of all kinds, from being able to survive death by returning in a skeletal form, and teleporting around the place when fighting Mario. Using these three powers of bodily strength and abilities, advanced technology and dark magic, he takes down all the foes he encounters. However, who has the better powers? Well, Bowser is certainly more versatile than King Boo will ever be. He still has the option of using his amazing bodily abilities and crazy powerful gadgets to take out almost any foe. But there's one thing that gives King Boo an edge here: his insane magical powers that far surpass those of Bowser. Now personally, I think those can beat all machines and brute strength in the world. He can bend reality and make things out of thin air after all. So even if Bowser would come around with an airship to attack King Boo, he could just shoot it down like he did with the Dark Moon, or even bring it into a different dimension like he did with Luigi in the second Luigi's Mansion game. And remember, he is the boss in such a world. We have even seen him manipulate technology before to benefit his own plan, when Luigi was teleported into King Boo's realm. So really, powers like that will totally overpower almost any of Bowser's abilities. So when it comes to this category, King Boo certainly wins. Now on to our next one, stamina and health. Who will fall first, Bowser or King Boo? Well, when it comes to this, it really depends on how much they can handle in terms of damage. Because like I said before, Bowser has infinite durability. And the funny thing is, he also has the most experience with taking damage. We've seen him survive a castle falling on top of him, and even coming back as a skeletal version of himself after seemingly dying. He can endure an endless amount of punishment and never gets tired, and somehow always returns from this in one way or another. Being drenched in lava? No problem. Being electrocuted, blown up, crushed by objects as heavy as his own castle? Who cares? Even when he does die, there's always a way of coming back. Like we saw in New Super Mario Bros. Where his son revived him using a potion and magic. He basically seems invincible. So can King Boo even win this? Well, maybe. He's a ghost after all, but we have seen that physical attacks do hurt him. For example, in the final battle of Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, and Mario and Luigi Paper Jam where they even defeat him. So he can actually be hurt by stuff like Bowser's Fire Breath, punches, and even the Mecha Koopas that he has. However, how much can he take before he goes down? Well, for this, I think we will have to look at Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, where both Bowser and King Boo are fought. In this game, we can see that Bowser and even his paper version have a lot more health than King Boo, who only has 1421 HP. Even King Babam has more, with a total of 1744 HP. Besides that, we haven't seen him survive a lot of strong attacks in the series. So by the looks of it, Bowser will survive longer than King Boo, who's already undead even. Heck, even if Bowser ends up going down, he can easily come back as we have seen in New Super Mario Bros. So this one certainly goes to Bowser. Now on to the tactics. Who uses their powers and abilities more effectively in battle? When it comes to this, there's one clear winner. Bowser has tried to take over the Mushroom Kingdom many times, even going into space for it to obtain more power, and even take over the universe. In order to win, he has always come up with his plans using machines, magic, or even brute force. However, they were never really successful. Some of these plans were even extremely simplistic, and in battle, Bowser never learns and always falls for the same tricks. While King Boo is extremely cunning and is even known as the master of illusions, which makes you think he is amazing at tactics as well, right? Well, yes, and it's 100% true. When you compare Bowser's plans and battle tactics to King Boo's, you can see that our Spectral Lord has the upper hand. Thanks to his power of changing objects, bending reality, and even creating separate universes by the looks of it, he will almost always have the upper hand. In these places, he can cancel any of Bowser's plans and make his own even more effective in the process. So personally, I think King Boo will win this. He even used tricks like this when taking on Luigi, teleporting him to the arena of his choice where his opponent has a smaller chance of winning. So this one will go to King Boo for sure. With his cunningness and crazy powers, almost every fight is in his favor. Now we get to the final point, which is crucial for one big reason. If Bowser or King Boo isn't intelligent enough, then one can outsmart the other, which is especially important when all the advanced magic, abilities, and attacks come into play, because they might be able to counter each other's moves. So, who is smarter then? Well, personally, I think King Boo is the smarter one because of multiple reasons. His plans are always well thought out and quite complex, while Bowser can have quite bad ones and doesn't really seem to learn from his mistakes. Even his thought process can be very basic. For example, I will just turn into my giant form and then I can take him on. Well, Mario has already beaten him like that many times before. So in general, Bowser doesn't think things through that much. But King Boo actually plans everything very carefully and was one of the few villains who successfully beat Mario multiple times even. All of this makes one thing certain in my opinion. King Boo's a lot smarter and thinks more before he acts, making him the clear winner here. Now, here we are after looking at all the most important elements in a battle between these two mighty rulers. So, who would be the winner? Well, most likely King Boo. His magical powers far surpass any abilities Bowser has, and even his intelligence and tactics are beyond that of Bowser. He could, for example, trap Bowser inside a painting, which would be an instant win for him. And if he used his powers of creating illusions and other things out of thin air, he could easily do this, trapping Bowser forever. So in the end, our King Koopa will most likely lose the fight against King Boo, the master of illusions. Hey you there, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and a comment telling me that I suck or that I'm great. I don't know, you choose. Also, click the annotations on the screen and be sure to subscribe and click the bell button. Then you won't miss any content. Yippee-ki-yay!